You're sweet.
Okay. Now you can tell me who all these people are. Actually, all these people are you, so
Just
that
where
part will
was
be
it?
easy. Just, yeah, if you can remember, like, where you were, or some of these with you and Aunt Carole, I can't tell who's who. I think these baby pictures were all marked as BJ on them, so I figured that must be BarJean.
Yes. And that was in Anderson, Indiana. Our neighbor's house there had a beautiful yard, and we used to go pick all the flowers off of it. And but he was very kind.
And somebody was not very good with the camera, because I kept finding pictures like this where it was like,
Really ugly background.
well, not only that, like, Big Daddy's cut right in half, so maybe you handed the camera to the neighbor and said, hey, could you take our picture? And he's instead focused on the building behind you there.
I'm sorry that when I don't recognize it all.
Is that snow?
Yes. Anderson had snow. And that's the same neighbor's house there. And of course, this is Arkansas.
Were you ever at that house, at Luke's house in Arkansas?
We just visited it.
Are you in the picture, or I can't tell, those are so small.
No, we're not. That's not me at all there. That was just, picture was given to me. We did go by and see it years later, and it was all grown up and vacant.
Oh.
Of course, you know who that is. You have any questions on any of that?
Did you own a horse?
No, they
Did you
came.
steal a horse?
No, this was also Anderson, Indiana, and back then the guy would come with a horse and a camera and just go down the streets and ask anyone with a child, "Do you want your picture on a horse?" And so that's how he made his living.
Wow.
Was taking pictures of children on that horse. And then he'd go to the next house.
Probably the beginning of the dog and pony show.
Yeah. And of course you remember that's you
That's me.
in San Antonio, Texas. And that's just a little bull that we put you on.
You couldn't afford the pony show, huh?
As close as I could get. The ceramic bull.
I found a picture that you took. It's not in this book, I don't think, of the house at 201 Wharton Street in San Antonio, which
Oh.
I'm guessing is this house.
Yes.
You only have one house in San Antonio.
Right.
So I went on Google Maps and looked it up, and the whole outside facade is still the same, except all these trees and stuff have now grown. It's just beautiful now with all the landscaping and everything. But when you look inside, it's like, I bet those are the same cabinets that were there in 1959, 1960.
Was it vacant?
No, it was on,
Oh, that's right. You were looking on Google.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably was. Especially if the same people owned it, they wouldn't put anything in it. Yeah. So, of course, you know who that is. So you want to show me which ones you don't know?
Well, I don't know where they were taken, so like I don't know how old you were in this picture or where you might have been living then. Or this one, or that one, or even this one, I don't know.
Yeah, well, this would be Anderson, Indiana, because I lived there till I was 12.
So you were probably 12 or so in this one.
Yeah, this was probably in Tampa, somewhere in Tampa, but I don't remember which house. We moved around to quite a few homes.
So did you go straight from Anderson to Tampa?
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere in between?
Right. That's your cousin Grant, and that was probably taken up in Anderson, Indiana.
So you would have been visiting by the time.
We were visiting then, yes. This would be my high school graduation.
Was it common for people to wear a white hat and coat then?
That was the dress that we had. Of course, that was 1958. Things have changed since then. And I went to Plant High School here in Tampa.
These, I found a date on the back, so like 1951, 1952. I didn't find a date on that one, or I would have written it by it.
Well, this would have still been in Anderson. We moved down here, I said in 1951, but several times people say no, it was 52 or 53 that But this looks to me like Tampa. But I don't recognize the house. I don't recognize any of those homes. Sorry. Okay.
I loved this. This was a thing that you wrote about America's future
Oh.
is up to the youth, and that was dated 1958.
Wonder, a school project, you think?
It looked like it was. It said you were 17 years old and that you lived at Belcher Drive,
Mm-hmm.
and that you were going to Plant City High School, and you had to do 607 words.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was curious how some of it was like typed, and then it was like you left a big space and hand wrote in there, and then you had another area that was typed, and it's like, well, how did she know she was going to go back and write in that spot?
Sorry. Don't know. But I'm glad I wrote the address there, and I always pronounced it Belcher Drive, and I thought that was an ugly name, but it's Belker.
Oh, okay.
It was a very famous man of this area, Mr. Belker.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know anything about him.
I was surprised to see when I looked up that address, it was only like, I'm thinking maybe a block or so off of the water down
Yes.
there in what is now like ridiculously $1 million homes.
Right, right. They told us when we purchased the property that we would always have a water view, but then money came into play and they sold it, and then the people that built out there wouldn't let us down to the water,
Oh, no.
so it blocked us totally. But
Make sure this is still recording. But you had what?
we had a really nice view at the beginning. Okay.
So you were one of the first houses down there?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
And was it considered a really high rent district then because
No.
of the water?
No, we paid $15,000 for the house that we built on there. Mother and Daddy did. It was just a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. I don't know what's there now. Did you Google it?
I did, and it looked about the same. It's probably always been.
Yeah, but our friends lived about a mile away, and they paid $35,000, and I thought nobody could ever afford $35,000.
Now you pay that for a car. Speaking of cars, were these your cars?
Yes, yes. And that shows that we bought it March 1961. So that was after we married, and we drove that to San Antonio, Texas. Daddy got it, Daddy would buy it, find good cars for us, and then we would buy them. Same thing with that. Anytime he thought,
Do you remember, before you go on, you can finish that thought, and then I want to know where this party was.
Daddy did that from the very beginning. When my first car was a big old Hudson, but he got it real good price, so he had me clean it up, make it, kind of do it to where it was real shiny, bright, and then he sold it, made a little bit of money, bought me another car, and so he always kept us in cars.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where this party was, but I was with your dad, and it was one of his friends.
One day you'll look back at this and go, look how young I was.
I know, when I'm 100. What did you want to tell me what you need in each one? Did it have a date on it?
I don't think there was a date. It said that it was the Benty Davis Causeway.
Uh-huh.
And
That's
if
where
I
it
had a
was.
date, I would have put it on there, so.
Pretty sure it's right after we married, so all those 2 different occasions, but it's the same place, and
Did you guys go down there a lot?
we did. We'd go down there quite often, because we just lived in a little apartment that was above a garage, a single-car garage, so you know how big the apartment was. And so we didn't stay there very much. We'd get out all we could. Didn't even have a full-size kitchen in it.
Wow.
So we did a lot of grilling and a lot of hamburgers and things like that.
And there's like 2 sections to the causeway, if I understand it. There's the place like along the the public beach currently.
It
And then
wasn't
there's
there.
another one way south of there where it's like now mostly a shipping district.
Well, no, this was on the causeway that goes to Pinellas.
Where the bridge is.
Uh-huh.
Courtney Campbell. Okay.
And it was
So
on
it's
the,
right there, right before
it was
you go
on the
across
north
bridge.
side.
All the way over?
Yeah.
Oh, why? You
Well,
were living on this side,
no,
right?
no, you got east and west,
Okay,
and it was on the north side of the causeway.
okay.
But back then, there weren't all those buildings and stuff that's there now.
Yeah, you couldn't just go over and have lunch.
No.
You had to make a lunch.
And very little traffic, you know, it was very private. It was nice.
Wow.
Things have changed. This was actually a graduation picture. So that
From-
would have been in 1958.
From college or from high school? Because you had a high school one where you were wearing a cap and gown.
Uh-huh.
And then was there like a party after?
Party.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a party picture after that. And of course, this was my first year in college when I was a freshman.
And I don't remember you ever telling me that you were Miss Freshman of 1958.
That's not very important, I guess. Because for one thing, it was very early in the year when we just got to school, so hardly anybody knew anybody. Well, since I lived in the area, I knew more people than people coming from all over the United States that didn't know anybody, so I got more votes.
I think you're downplaying this a bit. People have always loved you.
Thank you. Oh, this is,
Gordon Kirby.
yes, and he was a quadriplegic, and he was there in the college when I was, and he lived close by, so when we went anywhere, I would push him. And we had friends that had cars, so we would go places together.
I think I remember you telling me he had hurt himself in some kind of a handstand or something he was doing.
He was running and jumping over hurdles and tripped and fell.
Mm.
He says he was showing off for his girlfriend. And so anyway, she left him, of course. You know how that goes. But he was Homer Haley's stepson. So he was very popular. Everybody loved him. He did get married.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's nice. I thought it was funny on the back of this, he wrote, property of Gordon Kirby. It's like this picture was really important to him.
Yeah, he did want to get married.
Said it was July 6th, 1959. And you guys got married on July 1st of 1960?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Was this Tampa?
I was trying. Yes, this is the house on Belker. Notice this jalousie windows, which was very popular back then.
Is there Aunt Mary in between you guys?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's me, Aunt Mary, and Carole.
And did you guys have a pool, or were you all dressed like this because of the water nearby?
We probably went down to the water. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In our swimsuits, we thought we were quite good looking.
Well, you were.
A trio.
And then this said it was Anderson, Indiana, and it said 1947 on 1511 West 7th.
Uh-huh. 7th Street. There was a park right across from there, and we used to play all the time. We were the first key latch kids, I think you might call it, because Mother worked, Daddy worked, so we came home and had to take care of ourselves, so we kept ourselves entertained.
Would this been like a school photo?
Yeah, I think so. And this was some time, it's before I got married. I think this was probably in 58. It's probably some sort of school picture. Yeah, this was 1960, but I'm not sure about these. Oh, 57. Okay, good. I'm glad I wrote that. Of course, you know Aunt Carole and Mama Jack. if that's a live dog. I think it's stuffed.
Yeah, it looks more stuffed down here in this picture. But I remember when Mama Jack wanted me to get rid of my cat and get a poodle, and we ended up getting that Siamese cat instead because I didn't want a poodle. And it looks like she had an obsession with poodles since back when you guys were kids.
That's probably our Christmas toys. There again, that was at same beach, the Causeway.
And that was 1960 according to the picture. I didn't have a date on this one, but you look to be about the same age.
Yeah, that's all within the same time. This was your dad's car when we met.
You know what I thought was his car was this one, because I remember us chasing cows around in a Corvair.
No, that Daddy got that for me. That was mine.
Is it a Corvair? I don't know cars that well, but it's like, sure looks like that little blue one that they have.
1960 Corvair, brand new, first brand new car that I ever owned.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're standing here going, your car's nice too. It's not a Corvair, but it's nice.
It's big.
It's a boat.
It was. You didn't have to worry about getting hurt in that car if you had a wreck. You had all this steel around you. And this was his dad's car. And I think that was the house that he lived on here in Tampa before they moved out to Odessa.
Was that the one that was on South Street?
Oh,
I'm thinking he lived over there near Roy lived.
But there was another street that he lived on after South Street, and I don't remember the name of it. I want to say Ava or Iden or
yeah,
maybe it's Ida.
I think
Ida
it's
Street. Yeah. Okay, I hope I have a date. Remember this one? Oh, it was in '88. Okay. Remember, we all had our eyes done about the same time.
Well, you went way ahead of me.
I went first, then Chuck, then you.
I was in 92 or 91.
Oh, okay. And your dad paid for all of them.
Oh, really? Well, that's interesting. I would have sworn that Don said he did that as a wedding gift to me. But if he did, he took credit for it where you guys did it.
Well, I sure thought he did.
So the theme of this page was eyes.
Oh, eyes.
The big cat eye glasses, and now you don't need to wear glasses.
I didn't for 20 years, and they guaranteed the operation for 20 years. So after 20 years, then of course I had to go back to glasses because it just wasn't as good.
Well, you also had the opposite issue happening with your eyes then, where you can't read anything. So even if it had lasted for your distance vision, I think it still would have been.
Yeah.
I just remember you saying you were so sick in that picture, so I found a little sticker that says, so sick.
You can tell it. Of course, you know I'm pregnant here.
I didn't know if your sickness was because it was morning sickness or if it was just being sick.
You know, it could have been. And this was our little apartment. There's just a bed and a little table and chairs over there, and that was it. A bathroom and little counter with not much. I think it had a refrigerator. That was about it.
And then this was actually written on the back of the picture, so it looked like maybe that was a picture you took and sent to Dad while he was in the Army?
Yes. When he left to go into the Air Force, I wasn't showing. And time I went to see him, I was huge. So I wanted to prepare him. I didn't want him passing out when he saw me because I was really big. I went from 120 to 180 pounds.
Wow. I was a 60-pound baby.
I know. But about a month after you were born, I was back to 120. So it went somewhere. Okay, that was my 19th birthday, I think, wasn't it?
I don't see a date for that.
I think I'm pretty sure that was my 19th birthday.
But the theme of this was like celebrations.
Very good. I don't remember, if I didn't write a date on it, I don't remember anything about it.
Do you remember who made the cake? That's really a fancy cake for back then.
I think that was store-bought.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't have any friends that knew how to do that. Levon Quarles would do it nowadays. Yeah.
I think these were all from 1964.
Okay. That sounds about right. Your dad went out to California on a TDY, which is temporary duty, when he was in the Air Force, and he brought me back this Japanese gown, and so I thought that was very pretty.
I remember that thing hanging in your closet for years, and then I got to thinking, I wonder if she still even has that, because it seems like it was around for all my life.
I don't know where it is now. Okay,
I had to guess that this was General Motors, and that's why I did all of the rest from General Motors, but I don't know for sure.
Yes, this is General Motors. You're right. I worked there before we moved to San Antonio.
You worked there?
At GMAC in Tampa.
Oh, really?
Before we moved to San Antonio, Texas, yeah. So I was working there when we married and worked until I came out to San Antonio. It was just probably 2 or 3 years.
Did you work when you were in San Antonio?
I worked at a bank in San Antonio. After Corky came out and Corky took care of you, and then I worked at a bank called Frost National Bank, the largest family-owned bank in the United States at that time.
Wow. For some reason, I had always thought that GMAC was in San Antonio, so that's interesting that that was actually here.
Yep, it's on Henderson Avenue.
Still?
I don't know. No, it was then. I have no idea where they are now. I doubt that they're still there. Let's see, do I have any date on this one?
I think there's a date on that picture
1962.
there. But I don't know that they're all the same. I mean, a couple of them, your hair looks like it's very similar.
Uh-huh. This is Mama Jack's house. I can tell by the curtains, you know, she liked the purples and the blues and the same house. This is Mama Jack's house here.
Do you know where this yard is?
I don't recognize that. It looks like a park to me.
Oh.
It's not a yard that I recognize.
And the house with the railing there, do you remember that wrought iron work?
I don't. Sorry.
Could have been like, there's a nice looking piece of wrought iron.
Just lean up against it and look sexy.
60 years from now, somebody's going to say, well, where were you? I also didn't know that you were a graduate of Dale Carnegie's Customer Relations Employee Development course. That was amazing, and that was in 1994.
Okay. And we always had Hawaiian Day at Golf Controls. Remember, I worked at Golf Controls, and this was a Hawaiian Day thing where they would bring in catered meals and made it fun. They were really a good company to work for. I appreciated them.
It looks like that was another Hawaiian Day.
Yes. They were big on Hawaiian Day. Here again is Golf Controls people. That was very sweet. This was the president, of course. He was really good, and the vice president here. But he always advised me on finances, things like that. Got me in the 401k. Even I told him I couldn't afford it. He said, "You will do it."
Wow.
Period. You're gonna do it.
What was his name?
George Johnson. He's passed away.
And I'm guessing this is Connie here?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize any of the other people, though.
Right. No. They were just people that no longer know where they are. There's Connie right here. You knew her from church. Kathy. This is Kathy from church. That was that when we had our pictures made, remember?
What was it, 97?
97, okay. This is Gulf Control's people again. We were having a get-together in Christmas, and he wanted everyone singing, so we all were singing.
I'm thinking this was Connie here.
It may have been. It's kind of hard to tell. That was Don Overton. I'm so bad at names, every now and then a name will come to me.
I know what that's like. It'll come to you at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, that's what that person's name was.
And of course, you know who that is. You know all those people.
I know them. I don't know where you were. Actually, I don't know these two people.
I don't either.
Party crashers.
Yeah, I guess. No, you know, that's Aunt Barbara and Abe and Mother, and I think that's Aunt Carole and me and your dad. I don't recognize the area, but surely it was at somebody's house. I'm wondering if that's Aunt Mary's house.
And it looks like you guys were making some kind of like little white rose things. So I don't know if you were having like a craft day or if somebody was getting married and you guys were making those for that.
Yeah.
There's you in that beautiful turquoise kimono.
Geisha
Geisha.
girl. Geisha girl. I don't know.
And this looked like it was in a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
The date was 1972, I think it says on the
Yeah,
side. Or
Mother and
73.
Daddy were big in Amway. You know, this is one of their Amway pictures and one of their Amway get-togethers here.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought the log cabins was a big part of your life. But
Oh, the Teddy Bear Motel. It's gone now. They torn it down
really?
when we were up there last time.
Well, that was my only landmark. I'd never find the place again.
I know. It's gone. Yeah, North Carolina's just a memory. You know, Aunt Carole sold her house and bought over at Lake Pageant.
You just told me that at the Thanksgiving meal.
She closed on it. Well, they won't close till December 7th, but she signed all the paperwork yesterday.
I'm wondering if this was maybe Gatlinburg. I think they had one of those things there.
I don't know. Cherokee had one too,
Oh, okay.
so that would be more logical.
Was that the first cabin?
Where is that? That almost looks. I don't know which one that was.
I was never really clear on each of those cabins that ended up being built, which ones were first, second, third,
Well,
who they belonged to or anything.
Yeah, I don't think that's the first one. That's much bigger. The first one was kind of small.
I didn't know whose back porch this was. Maybe Jackie Ellen's. I think she had a porch like that.
Yeah, that's where she still lives, and she still has the people over every Thanksgiving. She has the whole family over. I think that's it too. Yeah, that's it too, right here. She has a really nice house.
Actually, I think this is your house. This is Avila.
Oh, yeah.
On Avista Drive.
Avista. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I could not believe how much Dwayne looked like his kids. Because I thought this was one of the kids, like, I forget which one, because they all look alike to me. But if it was Michael that he looked like here, or John David.
Alan, or I don't know.
But it had, by the ages, it had to have been Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
And then I couldn't tell, here it looks like you and maybe Jackie Ellen.
That could be. I couldn't tell you. Can't tell the yard.
And I think this is you and Mama Jack in San Antonio. Is it in front of the Alamo?
That looks like the Alamo, yeah.
I've only been there once, but I don't remember what it looked like.
to see. This could have been Terry, the cousins. This would be me, Mary, Mama, Trina, and that could be Carl, but it could be Terry. And I don't know who that is. And this is Larry.
Oh, wow. It kind of looks like Scott there.
Yeah, they do. They look so much alike and act alike. We drove from West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia, over to my sister's house in Indiana in this Volkswagen. And Dwayne says, what if you'd had a flat tire? And I said, I don't know. He said, you need to change it. You need to know how to change your tire. So he made me change the tire just to give me practice.
Oh my goodness. Well, that was no easy feat.
Anyway, I got it done.
I remember three things about that car. One was I was riding in the front, and Chuck and I would always fight over who was going to ride in the front. And Chuck was bouncing around in the back, just being crazy. And you turned around to hit Chuck, and you whacked me in the head. And I always told everybody that's the only time she ever hit me. She was swinging for Chuck.
And you got in the way. That was before seatbelts, too.
Yeah.
So he was an easy shot.
And then I remember you going down a one-way street in Charleston, West Virginia, the wrong way with that car, and your only option, in your mind anyway, was to drive on the sidewalk. So it was so little, you were able to drive it down the sidewalk to get to a street where you could get to the right side of the road.
Well, don't tell anybody. It's not good to do that.
And the last thing I remember about that car was when we lived on Knollwood Drive across from the airport where we would see the planes coming in and landing. There was a house up on the top of that hill that the road was like straight up to it, and we took the Volkswagen up toward that, and it felt like the whole front of the car was just going like that, coming off of the road because it was so steep.
Well, plus the engine's in the back, so all your weight and all the people were in the rear. But it gave you good traction when you did that, because all your traction was on those back tires. One thing I remember is when the battery went out, we couldn't afford to buy a new one at the time. So those cars, it was a stick shift. So all we had to do was park on a hill. You put it in neutral and coast down the hill, and then it would crank up. But it was a good car. It really went through some hard times, but it always made it. And when your dad would take it to go up the hill to fly to the airport there at Charleston, West Virginia, Mel would get on the back bumper to put weight out here so that they could get up that steep hill up to the airport.
Wow. And then I vaguely remember that being a trip to maybe see Aunt Carole.
You know, I was trying 71. Who would this be? That's not Chuck.
I wonder if those are all Aunt Carole's kids. Although they're kind of dark-haired for that.
Well, they're dark-haired. Yeah, they were all dark except for Mike. I think Mike had the light hair. That could be Mike and Stacy and Alan.
I wonder if this is the trip where I threw up in the back of the car.
I don't remember you ever throwing up. Did you get sick?
I did. We had been at some restaurant, and we were all traveling together in something where there were some of us in the back, very, very back. And for years, I mean, still, whenever I see Alan, he teases me about throwing up in the back of the car. Maybe that's why we were there, cleaning out the car.
That's a good memory.
I don't know where this was or who the people were. Is that Mom? Not Goldie, but her mother? Oh, it says 1971.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Just some old lady from church or something?
It could be. I don't even know who this is.
I thought that looked like Aunt Carole behind you.
No, that's not her. That's Mama Jack and me, but I have no idea who those two are. So what's this one? Oh, Golf Controls.
Yeah, it was different things from Golf Controls, I think. The bottom one, bottom right there, I didn't know if that was Golf Controls, but it looked like something that would have been a corporate type of event.
It was. That's Golf Controls. We were at a seminar, and I'm not sure what we were doing at the seminar, but...
Looked like you were manning the table.
Yeah. Remember George Steinbrenner?
Mm-hmm.
I guess he came out and... or at this get-together anyway. This is all the same. There's my Halloween costume, which was... I had a whip, but it doesn't show in there. I had a big whip. And this is Chuck's motorcycle outfit.
Oh,
and
funny.
He was so proud of that. He thought he looked so sharp in it. But after I dressed up for Halloween in it, he never wore it again.
He did look a lot better in it than he did. So this looks like it was probably Jamie when she was first born, and this was the back steps, I think, to the lake house.
Mm-hmm. That was their lake house. Yeah. Where are you?
I'm right there.
Okay.
And there's
Mama, or Goldie.
Yeah, I think that's you up there, and maybe Aunt Carole back there.
Uh-huh.
Mama Jack's holding Jamie.
Aw, that's sweet. I didn't have that picture. I like that.
Well, that was your picture.
Well, I mean, I didn't remember it.
I didn't either. And when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I wonder who she's holding. And it was like, oh, that must have been Jamie.
Let's see. This was the Belker house again. That's the Belker house. I was quite young here. Did it not have a date?
No. If I found a date, I put it on there.
Uh-huh. This is another one when I was 19. But, you know, these were
97.
much older.
Still beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Looks like another Hawaii day.
Yeah, I think so. And then we went to Alaska. The three of us. And
By dog sled, apparently.
yeah. Well, we wanted something memorable to remember, so at the studio there, they had all these jackets and stuff, and of course, Mama Jack took the prettiest one. And this was the Grand Canyon.
Is that the one where I'm thinking you went with Mom Jack and Big Daddy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He wanted to see a big cactus, and he loved cowboy movies, and in the cowboy movies they would have these 30-foot cactuses. So that was in his bucket list of things to do. So we went to the Grand Canyon and then out to Arizona and got a picture of him somewhere standing by this 30-foot cactus.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to have on your bucket list.
I know. But it was all in all the cowboy movies, and he just wanted to see that. He'd read cowboy books at their house up in North Carolina. There must have been 20 or more cowboy novels. This is sweet.
I had no idea that he was so big into cowboy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because even when we had Circle 8, I don't remember a single picture of him with a cow.
No, it's mainly your dad.
Those feather hats were pretty funny.
No, they were quite stylish back then.
So I'm guessing that's Indiana, given the fact that it looks like Goldie was there. And...
Yeah, that's probably their house.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Fred. We're going through the pictures. You want to sit down?
Sure.
You can just throw my bag on the floor there.
Carole has dates on most of them, which is good because I certainly would have never remembered any of this.
Oh, is there, well,
And I pretty sure I was over 12 years old, so I was we probably just up there for a visit to see Mama. And that, I don't know.
Would that be
looks kind of
Trina?
like Trina. Yeah.
Wow.
That's Mother, that's my sister, and Mother's mother here. See, we try to save articles too. Fred always saves articles in paper that he thinks is good.
I have a whole book of obituaries that you've saved.
Yeah, I do tend to do that. As you get older, I know you spend all your time at funerals as you age, it seems like. I love this one. This is our 5-year generation with you and Mother and me and Mama and her mother, and that's Paul Higginbotham there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where you were where this...
That's North Carolina. They always have a big, usually the hotel there on 19 puts out this big to-do there, so we had our pictures made. I was probably about 19 here. And another Gulf Controls picture.
So you just put all this together recently?
Yeah. She's organized everything. She took it from the scrapbooks and made it look prettier than the way I had it.
Well, it looks like she did a good job.
She
I
did.
had good material in this.
Yeah.
Those glamour shots were so much fun.
The glamour shots were quite a thing years ago. Everybody had to have their picture made to look glamorous, and they would fix your makeup for you and your hair. And
It was from 97.
Your mom's a pretty lady.
Indeed.
Carole had hers put on her Visa card. She said, "Don't ever do that because everybody'd look at it and say, 'This isn't you.'" This is another one. I think I was 19 there. 18, it says. Okay. Oh, this is one that you drew.
I think you drew it.
Oh, I did it? Oh.
Because
That says
if I drew that
drawn-
when I was 3, I was really a prodigy.
Oh, okay. Well, here it says Carole Lynn Stairs, November 1964, drawn by BarJean. So I guess I drew your picture. How about that?
You're
That's
such an
not too
artist.
bad.
It's great.
Not bad.
Tickets for Mother and me and Carole going to, we took Mother back to Little Rock, Arkansas, and Poughkeepsie, Arkansas, so we could see where she was born.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a good trip. We went to Mammoth Spring. My Aunt Ethel lived in Mammoth Spring, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
I've got such memories from Arkansas when we were there I was probably 6 years old. And, getting the eggs from the chickens. And she would chop the head off of the chicken for the dinner. And then they had to let it drain out, the blood. So the chicken would hop all around, and then dogs would chase it. So my job was to chase the chickens around and not let the dogs get them.
Oh, they don't run very far after you chop the head off.
No, but the dogs sure want to get to them.
They flop around.
Flopping. Yeah, they were flopping.
My mom used to do that too when I was a kid.
I saw something on Facebook yesterday that said, say something here that you had to do as a child that your children never had to do, and I think that qualifies. I never had to chase a headless chicken.
Or pluck it. That was something else too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and that's more of the Ozark Mountains and the Country Jubilee.
And you actually put all of these pages together. There's a lot more of these pages that were just like pictures of landscapes, but I included it in this book because I thought you did such a nice job of putting it together.
Yeah, those were the Presleys, the Country Jubilee singers. And then they served you dinner on this boat that went down the river.
Look at you being all fancy putting the toothpick up there. I bet that was in your fancy drink.
This is a little balloon hat.
Oh, I didn't even notice that you were wearing a balloon on your head.
Oh, one of those.
It's I don't
She
know.
was just a kid.
Kid at heart. That's me. Oh, good. Oh, that's Aunt Carole with this huge guitar
Man.
behind her. It went all the way up to the ceiling.
Well, that was fun. Thank you.